Welcome everybody to our Totango webinar. I'm Ella Ang, Customer Success Director and Team Lead. We're excited to have Joe Tichenor from Waystar here with us today to review how they've been able to leverage technology to drive cross-functional programs to scale. I've had the pleasure of working with Joe for the past 4 years, since 2019 when they first became a customer, and it's been amazing to see the value in the programs they've been able to build out. Welcome, Joe.
Thank you so much, Ella. Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining the webinar today. As Ella mentioned, my name is Joe Tichenor. I'm a Senior Client Insights Manager at Waystar. Similar to the functions of a Client Success Ops team, I support our CS team with the utilization of Totango, and I help manage our voice of customer workflows and assist the team with our analytics solution and reporting needs. It's hard to believe, but this month marks 9 years that I have been at Waystar. I've worked in many different roles, including support, implementation, consulting. I've been a client success manager, and now I'm on our client success insights team, which rolls up to our client success management team. I'm formerly known to the rest of our CSM team as Joe Tichenor. Funny story, last year after things started to loosen up in regards to the pandemic, I was out at dinner with our leadership team and our CEO showed up, and our CS directors thought it'd be cute to introduce me as Joe Tichenor. And I firmly believe our CEO still thinks my name is Joe Tichenor. So what we'll cover today, first we'll look at Waystar, what we do as a business, and a little bit about our client success team. Next, we'll talk through creating a framework for success. Then we'll touch on building client success universal programs. And lastly, leveraging technology to engage cross-functional teams. All right. If you aren't familiar with Waystar, we offer end-to-end revenue cycle management solutions to healthcare providers. These solutions are built on cloud-based platforms with the newest and most efficient technologies. At Waystar, we have one main goal, and that's to simplify healthcare payments so our clients and our partners can focus on their goals, their patients, and their communities. We're doing this by delivering technology and expertise at scale, by understanding providers' needs and leveraging that expertise across the revenue cycle. Our database contains 40% of US patients. We process over 2.5 billion transactions annually. And having 20 plus years in the industry, we pride ourselves in knowing and understanding healthcare. And so that's why over 500,000 providers and over 1,000 hospital and health systems have trusted us with their claims processing and revenue cycle needs. Moving on, in order to simplify patient payments for our clients, we've needed to become the leader in our industry. Since our merger of Zirmed and Navicure in 2017, we've continued to add predictive analytics capabilities to our portfolio through the acquisition of companies such as Recondo, Connets, eSolutions, and our most recent Patient Co. They're a leading provider of patient payments, communications, and engagement software. And all this really wraps up as why we're unique. We have all of our commercial and government payers on a single platform. We have a modern, elegant user experience and a proven ROI and market-leading customer satisfaction. Moving on to our client success focus areas. We execute with fanatical focus on client satisfaction, growth, retention, and passion for our team members. These are our client success pillars, and all of our goals and objectives are tied to one of these three. Also, we have certain CSM directors assigned to each pillar to help drive new initiatives for our client success teams. And here we're highlighting our CSM principles, and these are our expectations for our CSMs. We want to ensure that we're embedding high quality talent, that we're able to drive and measure ROI, that our CSMs and CS leaders can identify proactive insights, we can share best practices and act as a trusted advisor. And then we implement these CS strategies to align with our overall business objectives. One, integrate successfully. As you saw in that previous slide, we have continued to acquire new technologies and new companies. And so we have multiple platforms, multiple data sets, but we want to be unique and have all of that on one platform. So any solution, a single login, and you can utilize our products. We want to make sure that we can grow concurrently. That's given with our CSM team member growth. I think whenever I first joined our client success management team about 5 years ago, there was 15 of us, 15 CSMs, and now we're near 60 CSMs. So with that team member growth, we just want to make sure that we're able to be scalable and be agile as we are growing. We've also added on new teams underneath our client insights team, which I'm a part of, and a new consulting team that we use specifically under our client success management team. And then we wanted to build a strong foundation, long-standing reference clients, and then make sure that we're utilizing that voice of customer feedback so we can continue to grow our champions for Waystar. All right, moving on to creating a framework for success. When we first implemented Totango, our client success team was brand new. We just, that Zermed Navicure, and then bringing in some of our other CSM teams, totally new leadership. And we're just starting to understand what our needs were. At the time, we didn't know that we needed a common client platform, but we were soon aware of that. We knew we had a problem to solve for, and having a unified common client platform would be key. Our problem was given our complex client structures in the healthcare space, our growing CSM team, and then the fact that we struggled to understand our customer journey and build unified workflows and playbooks. As we worked to solve for this problem, we kept our client success pillars in mind. Client satisfaction to unify and improve our client experience. Client growth, accelerate upsell and cross-sell efforts. Client retention, increase overall retention rate, and then also team member experience to be able to scale our CSM and our resources. I want to highlight a quote from our EVP. That was the EVP at Waystar at the time that we implemented. And this is one thing that he had to say. The biggest differentiator for me is speed to value. From kickoff to go live was 8 weeks. That was a phenomenal path from entering into our partnership to realizing value in 90 days. This was huge for us, hitting the ground running, not really sure what we were doing. We had an amazing CSM in Ella, and had an awesome engineer in Val, and we were able to, get it going. We were able to be live and start seeing real value within 8 weeks. So as I mentioned, being a new CSM team, there's a lot of things new to us, and the idea of a customer-centric data platform was new as well. But we knew we needed to have a tool to understand our customer journey and implement workflows that we couldn't accomplish in our CSM. We also knew that we needed technology that could scale and be agile as our business grew. And what this gave us was something that we didn't quite expect. Spending most of our time in our CRM, we're able to now have a consolidated view of multiple data points from our CRM, from Waystar Solutions. We're able to all consolidate that into one view in Totango. And this helped empower our CSMs with insights into our customers as a whole, better understanding customer satisfaction, understanding the customer journey and where they are and pain points, and be able to surface insights from data where we couldn't do that before. And we also were able to implement new CSM work streams that were previously unmanageable, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. And lastly, I think one of the big things too for us that's been super helpful, though, since we implemented Totango, that we might not have saw the quick benefit was what we were able to provide leadership with understanding our customer's journey. I think previously we were using some of our CRM, maybe more face-to-face, talking to CSMs, getting gauging their health, gauging what's been going on with them. And now leadership can easily see all this in one place in Totango, understand our customer's journey, understand our customer's health, and what their engagement level is. All right, building universal client success workflows. So this was a term we started using that really helped us push user adoption. Since we implemented Totango, I think we've added 3 new companies. And so adding in those new CSMs to our team members and adding in those new solutions sometimes might not make sense why we need to use this CS software. It was originally built for our legacy company. This doesn't provide value, but we started to teach them was that there are universal workflows. Doesn't matter what product line, what products your clients were using. These were important for us on our CSMs and our client success teams to be effective. And so understanding client engagement, being able to, be able to utilize campaigns and other task and success plays to help our expansion, upsell, and cross-sell efforts. Build a reference program. We from day one, that was one of our goals, was to build a reference program into Tango, and we were able to accomplish that. We'll talk about our risk management as well, with our focus on retention, and then contract renewals was important for us because before, nothing was digitized around our contract renewals. And so being able to put this into a common client platform, and then be able to push workflows towards our CSMs based off this data. All right, moving on to some of these workflows, leveraging technology to engage cross-functional teams. So I'll walk through these client success workflows, how they relate to our different client success pillars, and how we're able to engage cross-functional teams through these workflows. So starting with growth, I want to talk through how we built our reference program to engage client success teams, our marketing teams, and our sales team. So I think for the past 5 to 10 years, we've been kind of bouncing the reference program between client success, between our sales team, between our marketing team. We tried a number of different tools to help manage that, and nothing was successful. In the end, we knew that it needed to live with our CSM team, that our CSMs understood our clients, understood their successes, what was going on with them, what they were working through. And so we were able to build this in Totango. And this was before reference program was a published success block in Totango. We actually built this from scratch, which is cool to do, to be able to, have a vision for a reference program, and then be able to configure that to our needs and have that in Totango. So be able to build a scalable reference program that would streamline those workflows, especially for new acquisitions. If we did have a new, acquisition and new CSM teams, we're able to quickly start using Totango in the reference program to be able to manage our reference contacts, and for our reference team to be able to set up reference calls and so forth. We're easily able to track outcomes and successes via those touch points to identify champions for case studies. We're also able to use some of these other workflows. We are now doing NPS in Totango, and we'll talk about that in a moment, but being able to identify promoters and turning those into reference candidates has been super helpful. And then we've been working to implement a strategic pipeline with sales. And so again, it's been really important for us to be able to engage cross-functionally, and for us to be more effective in how we use our resources. A lot of times we have our star references and we use them way too much. And so now that understanding what is in the pipeline, what type of references will needed, has been able to have our reference team to be able to be successful and really do it right whenever it comes to our reference program. One thing that we're doing now, we previously were doing references at a customer level, and in the past 6 months, we've implemented this at the contact level, which has been very helpful for us to be able to easily identify the contacts that are referenceable, what products they're referenceable for, and then align those with those touch points and what type of usage they're having. And then we've been able to help coach and get reference candidates based on the contact. So the client came out of our implementation, and we knew this could be a potential reference. We go ahead and start marking them as a reference candidate, so we can kind of have that pipeline and understand how we're going to mature them into a reference for us. Next, we'll cover partnering with our sales, marketing, and product teams to engage customers with Waystar products. We use a vendor that does feedback specific in the healthcare industry. And a common feedback we've got is clients not understanding our full product mix or what our product capabilities are. And this is an ongoing partnership. We're still working on being better at this. But we started to utilize campaigns more to be able to engage our customers, to engage them with our product team, to engage them with marketing, so they can know what we offer, what's new. Has been helpful. And then we're really looking to how can we expand this into more of our mid-market, our clients that don't have a managed or assigned CSM. How can we ensure that they are getting the knowledge they need to be successful whenever it comes to utilizing our product? All right, risk management. This has been a big one for us. I'm excited to talk about it. And so I presented on this previously last year. And so we do have, an updated 2022, goals and what we were able to accomplish. But in 2021, we did focus on retention and risk management, especially as we were acquiring companies. We want to make sure that they were getting the same level of support they were accustomed to, that they were still satisfied. And a lot of this was, being able to proactively identify potential risk. And so we've used a few different workflows along with this, some data-driven, so performance metrics we are bringing into Tango. One thing is like transaction volume. We're able to see like dips in transaction volume that might be an indicator of potential risk. And so our CSMs are able to be proactive in that and be able to identify potential risk based off of data. And also we have CSM-driven data points. So CSM sentiment, which is like the reverse NPS. What would they rate us as a net promoter score? These other client indicators, if there's stakeholder turnover, potential M&A, a technology migration, or potential competitive threat. So all of those that we have built in to help bring in early warning signs. And then we built this into an at-risk workflow. So you can see over here, we're able to use different data attributes and then trigger risk workflows for our CSMs. And so this helps us, for them to be on top of it, make sure that they're putting a plan in place, putting in a plan in their account profile. So they're adhering to that. And then also leadership has visibility into this. So I think previously it was really, again, emails kind of talking like about potential risk. Now we have this all in a consolidated view where we can see risk across our whole client base, what our CSMs are doing for save plans, and be able to report that out. So in 2021, we had a target attrition rate of 6.6%. Our 2021 actual attrition rate was 5.6%. So by a whole point, we were able to beat our goal and do super well in 2021 whenever we first implemented this program. And then again, we're seeing that downward number in 2022, a 5.1% attrition rate. All right, renewals. And so this is another thing that day one we implemented Totango, we knew that we needed help with. We knew a lot of contracts were somewhat in our CRM, maybe lived somewhere else. Nothing was digitized. There's no good way of being able to understand what contract terms were unless you just pulled up the big old file and read through it. And so what Totango was able to do whenever we implemented the success block was to have digitized information. So renewal dates, what were their terms, what was their renewal terms, and things like that. So we're able to put that into workflows and into reporting. So we could easily see, how many renewals do we have coming in the next 90 days? What are our CSMs doing to ensure that there's proper engagement and we are doing what we need to do to make sure that we're renewing those? And then also putting in goals like, let's try to reduce the number of month-to-month contracts we have. So we can put in success plays and tasks to help help our CSMs work and approve upon that goal. All right, NPS, another one that I've been very close to. And so we've implemented the NPS for our managed clients into Totango. We started doing NPS maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and we used another vendor for that. And in the past 2 years, we started to see our response rate drop, and in return, our scores started to drop. And so we had a goal of improving for our managed clients with our response rate and its score. And so we tried doing a number of things in the beginning of 2022, and nothing seemed to be helping. And so we decided to try ad hoc testing this in Totango. What would it look like if our customer received an email the day before from our CSM, letting them know that it's coming, encouraging them to take this, why it's valuable for them to take this so we can improve upon our company and our business and our value to them. So we tested that and we started seeing some good results. And then in August, we moved this completely from our other vendor into Totango for our managed clients. And so now we have this real-time information. We're able to set up campaigns and easily track all in one place. Instead of using a different vendor, we're able to send out campaigns from our CSMs, campaigns from Waystar organization with the NPS survey. And then we get real-time close the loop. So as soon as an NPS survey comes back, our CSMs are, they get a task there, they can see that at their account view, and then they can close the loop. Whether they're a promoter, a passive detractor, it's outlined for them what steps they need to take to reach out to the client and make sure that they're closing that loop. And then put in a touch point that we close the loop. And this helps us be able to see trends. And so now as we're continuing to use Totango and we want to see improvement in NPS for our contacts, we can go in and look and see, okay, this is what their score, and this is their new score. And in between, we had to close the loop where the CSM reached out and found this information, and we were able to help resolve any issues that the client might have been experiencing through our NPS program. With that, we were able to improve our goal. Again, we doubled our response rate from where we were at the beginning of 2022 towards the end where we are now. So we've been live using this in Totango since August. We've seen a double in response rate, and we've also seen over 10-point improvement on our NPS score. The last one that I wanted to cover today is around our consulting team. So our consulting team has been new to Waystar Client Success since 2022. They had used a number of different, spreadsheets to other technologies to try to track and use like a project management tool. And we had the idea, like, let's try it in Totango. So we built a success block for them to be able to have a workflow in Totango. And they've been ecstatic about it. It's been great. They get, real-time understanding of customer health engagement as they're working through their projects. They get that complete view of the customer and understanding what they're going through as they're working through their projects. And then we're also able to have, the ability for our leadership team to see from this platform, be able to see that customer journey view, what kind of consulting they've had, and what has that led to greater satisfaction. So it's been a big win-win for us to be able to get our consulting team in here and using Totango. All right, I know we're getting close on time. I want to leave some room for questions. So I wanted to hit some high-level key takeaways for empowering cross-functional programs. So these ideas have helped us at Waystar to become a more effective CSM team. So again, as we highlighted earlier, creating a framework for success, understanding your customer journey. We didn't really understand this whenever we first started building this out. But it's been helpful for us to be able to visualize that customer journey in Totango and be able to understand that, these are the levels of engagement. These are the points that we need to engage with the client. This is, where we need to understand where they're moving and how they're, using our solutions. So understanding that customer journey, putting it on paper and understanding what our expectation for the customer journey has been helpful. Leveraging data and technology to think outside the box. So one thing, us being in healthcare, we see our customers, there's a lot of mergers and acquisitions between hospitals and health systems. And so that leads to a lot of different views in our CRM of these customers. And so we've been able to, think outside the box and create a singular customer view. So no matter if they came from, have solutions with 2 of our different legacy companies, or they just acquired another hospital, we're able to see that and have one working relationship view in Totango. And then build your framework to be agile and scalable. So a lot of those things we had to think about with the reference program, with contract renewals. We could have maybe really gotten into the weeds on those workflows, but we want to make sure as we added new team members and new products that this was easy, that we could grow those workflows up as a company continue to grow. Building universal client success programs. One thing that's been helpful for us is aligning our goals with the overall business. So we're able to drive value for other departments when they can easily connect, what are our goals and what are we doing to put that forward towards the organization. Design your workflow to be flexible. Again, we originally built this out, back it showed 2017, it was Zermed and Navicure. And we really got into building it for that technology. And so that's where we had some issues with user adoption. This software is for only a small part of your CSM team, and we had to be able to make sure that we had these universal workflows that it didn't matter where you came from. We as a client success team have these expectations that we can do these universal workflows. And then emphasizing the outcomes to drive user adoption. So being able to communicate the value of a technology and a tool so our CSMs can understand why it's important. And then lastly, leveraging technology to engage cross-functionally. Creating scorecards for client success in the business. So we're able to, in our scorecards for reference program, for contract renewals, for risk management, we have our goals for the client success and how we can connect those to the overall business as well. So we have KPIs that help us track progress towards that. And then correlate insights between your programs, and it's been super helpful for us, whether it's, NPS and how does that lead to risk, or renewals and risk. Being able to have, a flow with your workflows and your customer journey has been very helpful for us. And then lastly, ensure your outcomes and your customer journey is accessible. And I don't just mean like, click into Totango, oh, it's accessible, but making sure that our CSMs and the teams and other departments understand, what we're doing and how it's beneficial for the ultimate success of our customers.
Thank you everyone for joining, and we'll definitely see you guys next time. Thanks everyone.
Thanks everyone.